What if I told you that there's a secret conversation happening right in front of you, every single day, and you're missing almost all of it? A silent language that tells you everything you need to know about attraction, desire, and connection. And because you can't see it, you're walking away from moments and opportunities that could change everything. Imagine being on a date. You think it's going okay, maybe even good. You're talking, you're laughing, but in the back of your mind, there's that nagging question. Does she actually like me? Is she feeling this too? And you leave the night unsure, confused, and you probably never figure it out. The truth is, she was likely telling you everything you wanted to know, not with her words, but with her body. Most men are taught to look for big, obvious signals like in a movie, but real-life attraction, especially from a woman, is a much quieter, more subtle art. It's a whisper, not a shout. Today we're going to learn how to hear that whisper. We're going to decode the secret language of female attraction, and by the end of this, you will never look at an interaction the same way again. Let's start with the most powerful and most misunderstood part of the body, the eyes. We're told to look her in the eyes, but what are we actually looking for? You're not just looking for contact, you're looking for the quality of that contact. The first and most primal sign is something she has almost zero control over. When a person sees something they desire, whether it's a beautiful sunset, a delicious meal, or another person, their pupils dilate. That means the black part of her eye gets bigger. This is a pure biological response. It's her brain's way of saying, I want to take in more of this. Now you have to be careful. Low lighting can also cause pupils to dilate. But if you're in a well-lit coffee shop or a restaurant and you notice her pupils seem large and her eyes look deep and dark when she's looking at you, that is a massive unconscious sign of interest. Have you ever been talking to someone and felt like you could just fall into their eyes? Maybe this is what was happening, but it gets even more detailed. There's a specific type of gaze that psychologists and body language experts talk about. It's often called the triangle gaze. When we're having a normal, friendly conversation, our eyes tend to move in a small triangle between the other person's eyes and their nose. It's polite and non-threatening, but when attraction enters the picture, that triangle gets bigger. Her gaze will move from one of your eyes to the other eye, and then drop down to your mouth, and then back up to your eyes. Why? Because when someone is attracted to you, they are subconsciously thinking about kissing you. Their brain is drawn to your lips. If you see her doing this, especially more than once, it's not a random glance. It's a powerful signal. Think back to your last few interactions. Did you ever notice this gaze? Most men are so focused on what to say next that they completely miss this silent invitation. The final piece of the eye contact puzzle is the duration and the break. Intense, unbroken eye contact can feel aggressive, so what an interested woman will often do is hold your gaze for a little longer than is socially normal, maybe 2 or 3 seconds. And then she'll be the one to break it, but she'll do it in a specific way. She will often look down, maybe with a small, shy smile, before looking back up at you. Breaking eye contact by looking down is a slightly submissive, gentle gesture. It says, "The intensity of your gaze affects me, but I want to come back for more." If she breaks eye contact by looking away to the side, at her phone or around the room, it often signals disinterest or distraction. But that downward glance, that little moment of submission followed by re-engagement, that's gold. It's a silent conversation where she's telling you that she's both intrigued and a little bit flustered by you, in a good way. Now let's move just a little bit lower, to her mouth. The lips are one of the most expressive and sensitive parts of the body, and they betray a lot of hidden feelings. Have you ever been so focused on something you want that you unconsciously lick your lips? It's a primal action. Our body does it to prepare itself. When a woman is attracted, there's an increase in saliva production, which can lead to a quick, subtle lip lick. Or she might just be drawing attention to her mouth. The same goes for biting her lip. Now, we're not talking about a big, dramatic, movie-style lip bite. That can happen, but it's rare. More often, it's a very quick, almost nervous gesture. She might be listening to you speak, and for a split second, she'll gently bite her lower lip. It's a combination of drawing attention to her lips and a small release of nervous, excited energy. It's a sign that you're having an effect on her, and of course, there's the smile. But not all smiles are created equal, are they? We all have a polite, social smile we use for strangers or in photos. It only uses the mouth. But a genuine smile of happiness and attraction, known as a Duchenne smile, is totally different. This smile reaches all the way up to her eyes. You'll see the corners of her mouth turn up. but you'll also see her eyes crinkle a little at the corners. It's a full-face smile. It's a smile she can't fake. When you say something that isn't even that funny, but she gives you this huge, genuine, eye-crinkling smile, she's not just laughing at your joke. She's enjoying your presence. She's happy to be there with you. That smile is a giant flashing sign that says, "I feel good when I'm around you." And feeling good is the foundation of all attraction. Let's talk about something that creates a little bit of fear and excitement in all of us. Touch. Breaking the touch barrier is one of the most significant steps in any interaction, but often, the woman will be the one to do it first, in ways so subtle you might write them off as accidents. Think about this. When you're talking, does she find little excuses to make physical contact? Maybe she laughs at your joke and lightly touches your arm or your shoulder. That touch might only last for a second, but its meaning is huge. She's testing the waters. She's closing the physical distance between you and showing that she's comfortable with you in her personal space. Has this ever happened to you? Did you just think she was being friendly? Or did you recognize it for the test it was? The type of touch is also very important. A quick, businesslike pat is one thing, but a lingering touch is something else entirely. For example, she might brush an imaginary piece of lint off your jacket, but her fingers stay there for a moment too long. Or she might squeeze your arm gently as she walks past you in a crowded room. These aren't accidents. These are calculated, even if subconscious, moments of connection. She's giving you an opportunity to reciprocate. She's opening a door. Another very common one is what's called accidental touching. Her knee might accidentally touch yours under the table, and she doesn't immediately pull it away. Or when you're walking, her hand might accidentally brush against yours. When these things happen, the real signal isn't the touch itself. It's the lack of retraction. If she touches you and immediately pulls back as if she touched a hot stove, it was probably a genuine accident. But if she touches you and lets the contact linger, she's comfortable and she's inviting more. This leads directly into the idea of space or proximity. How close is she willing to get to you? When someone is not interested, they will maintain a polite distance. They will create barriers, maybe by holding a purse in their lap or angling their body away from you. But when a woman is attracted, she will destroy those barriers. She will lean in when you talk. Watch her posture. Is she leaning across the table, closing the gap between you two, just to hear you better, even when the room isn't that loud? That's a huge indicator. She wants to be in your world, in your bubble. She's not just listening with her ears. She's listening with her whole body. Pay attention to her feet and her torso. It's a funny but true rule of body language. The body points where the mind wants to go. If you are in a group, but her feet and her torso are angled towards you, it means you are the focus of her attention, even if she's talking to someone else. Her body is betraying her true interest. Conversely, if her body is angled towards the door, it might mean she's subconsciously looking for an escape. So look for that lean. Look for her to move her drink out of the way to close the distance. Look for her to orient her whole body in your direction. She is using the space around her to scream that she wants to be closer to you. Are you paying enough attention to notice? Now for a sense that is almost always ignored, hearing. Her voice can tell you just as much as her eyes or her hands. This is one of the most subtle signs, and that's why it's so powerful when you notice it. When a woman is around a man she's attracted to, her vocal tone will often change. Research has shown that a woman's voice may become slightly lower and a little bit breathier, almost huskier. Why does this happen? A lower, softer tone is perceived as more intimate and sensual. It's a subconscious way of creating a private, personal bubble between the two of you. It's as if she's trying to make her voice more soothing and alluring just for you. Have you ever noticed that a woman's voice seems to get softer and warmer the longer you talk to her? That's not your imagination. That's a deliberate, even if unconscious, signal. The speed of her speech is another clue. If she's nervous and excited, she might speak a little faster at first. But as she gets more comfortable and the attraction builds, you'll often notice her speech slowing down. She's savoring the moment. She's not in a rush to finish the conversation. By speaking more slowly and deliberately, she's extending the interaction and creating a more relaxed, intimate vibe. Combine a lower, breathier tone with a slower pace of speech, and you have a potent auditory signal of her interest. It's the sound of someone who is comfortable, engaged, and wants the moment to last. Most men are so worried about what they're hearing, the actual words, that they fail to listen to how she is saying them. The music is often more important than the lyrics. Finally, let's talk about the signals her body sends that she has absolutely no control over. These are the pure, unfiltered biological signs of arousal, and they are impossible to fake. One of the most obvious is flushing. When a person is aroused or excited, blood rushes to the surface of the skin. You might notice a slight reddening or a rosy glow on her cheeks, her neck, or her upper chest. It can be very subtle, like a faint blush, but it's her body's way of reacting to the adrenaline and excitement of being near you. This is why romantic lighting is often dim and warm. It mimics and enhances this natural, attractive glow. Another completely unconscious sign is a change in her breathing. When you're relaxed, your breathing is slow and steady. When you're aroused, your breathing can become shallower and quicker. You might not be able to obviously see her chest rising and falling faster, but you might sense a change in the energy. She might seem a little more alive or animated. If you get close enough, you might even be able to hear a slight quickening of her breath. This is the most primal level of her body responding to you, a direct signal from her nervous system saying, "You are affecting me." Now, here is the most important rule of all. Not a single one of these signs, when seen in isolation, is a guarantee of anything. A single lip bite could just mean she has dry lips. A single hair flip could just be a habit. Leaning in could just mean the room is loud. The real secret, the key to unlocking this whole language, is in looking for clusters. You are not looking for one sign. You are looking for 3, 4, or 5 of them happening together or in quick succession. So, imagine this again. You're on that date. She is looking at you with dilated pupils. Her gaze keeps dropping from your eyes to your mouth. When you speak, she leans across the table, her body angled completely towards you. When you make a joke, she lets out a genuine eye-crinkling laugh and touches your arm, letting her hand linger for just a second. Her voice is soft and a little lower than when you first met. This isn't a collection of random accidents. This is a story. This is a clear communication. It's a conversation happening underneath the words, and every signal is a different sentence telling you the same thing. I am attracted to you. Keep going. The fear for most men is the fear of rejection. They are so afraid of making a move and being wrong that they end up doing nothing at all. But when you learn to see these signs, you are no longer guessing. You are not taking a blind leap of faith. You are simply responding to the invitation she is already giving you. She is giving you a green light, but it's not a giant neon sign. It's a series of small, beautiful, subtle clues. Your only job is to learn how to see them. So the next time you're with someone, stop worrying so much about the perfect thing to say. Instead, just watch. Just listen. The most important conversation is the one happening without any words at all. And now you know exactly how to understand it. What's the most confusing signal you've ever received? Let me know in the comments below.